I was reading a story. A man of God, a pastor that was sent to a branch, a church, to go and pastor that branch. So when the pastor was sent to that church, he came to that church for the first time. The first day he ministered to that church, many people were standing while he was talking. There was too much excitement because what they were hearing is flesh from the wisdom of God's word. So people were excited. You know, normally as you bring a new person, a new minister to come and minister, when that minister stand on this altar to minister, some group members and some who lack understanding will say, this one is more powerful than our pastor, because he came with new voice, new sound, new message you have not heard. So say, this one is stronger, this one is more preacher than the pastor. But when he continues saying, you see, familiarity have eaten everything. You see, familiarity eat up everything. There is a place I preach. Everywhere was no seat. You can't sit down. We scatters everywhere. As I left, a guy come and wanted to collect my number. I want you to be my spiritual father. Go back to where you come from, because you saw me. I preach. I do like this. The next time I come, I might not be able to do that. I might sit you down to tell you the things that can eat your spirit. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And behold, when he come next time, he preached. They were a little incited, but not like as the first day. He came and preached the same thing he preached the last Sunday. When he came to the next Sunday, he preached the same thing he preached at the first day, making the third time. When he came the first time, he preached the same message. When he did that to the fifth times, the whole 1 month plus one message, the same thing he said, he was telling them. The members, as they close, everyone gathered in the one corner. You know how some member used to gossip? Why you there too hard? Not so now. Not be so. They communicate with me, please. Not so. And the other one said, nah, it be like only one message this man have. It be like only one message this man have. First day, second day, third day, fourth day, fifth day. You don't get any message. This parish don't dey in problem. This parish, you see, only this message you will be hearing. You don't change. This is the first message they had on the first day. They were jumping on their chair. He prayed the same thing again. The moment to reduce. He prayed the second day. Nobody was. When he came to the fifth time, he prayed the same thing. As he was preaching, he noticed that some people are not the same message. The other one will sit down, not the other one say, I tell you, not the same message. He even came to the seventh time. My God, I need to go and visit this campus, and I said, yeah, try. Came the seventh time. The members were no longer comfortable. He was saying, when you notice that many they have already, you see two people stand on the program like this and start laughing. There is something they discuss before that program. So that thing happens. That is why they are laughing. Oh, you don't know what I am saying. Why those two people? He noticed that member that are showing the expression of something is wrong. He now asks the person, what is that thing you are discussing? What is the problem? Why I'm preaching? And the man stood up and said, he wanted to say nothing. He now pressured him. See, we are here together. If there is anything I'm not doing well, tell me. Let me correct myself. He now opened his heart for him to talk. He said, Pastor, the first day you preach, we love it. The second day, you bring the same message. Third day, now the same thing where you tell us. Fourth day, this is 7 times. Now the same thing. But the other pastor wait there here, they change it every day. When he now asked the member, is that the problem? Everybody said, yes. He now turned and said to them, yes, the reason why I preach it is because the reason why I am preaching this is because I have not seen any of you started doing what I have preached. So I can't move the next to preach another thing if you have not done that. The now pastor said, I'm a lecturer. If I enter class and teach, the student will not understand it. I have to repeat it until they get it. That man need to go and hold hands. So he said, he now begin to use that to talk to them. That you knock your head does not mean what he have said have moved to your spirit. Oh, right on. Right on. Right on. When after you have right on, you left everything and get home and become who you used to be. When I read that thing, it was recently I read that story. I said, this is like what I will start being. When I preach, if I have not seen any change, I will bring it again. Until you change, we change another topic.